Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Post-Conference Presser for Anfield Index. These games just keep coming thick and fast. December is relentless, for want of a better phrase, people. I'm Dave Davis, coming to you from a pretty cold, it's that way, it's close to Korea. People are getting into the seasonal feel, but that doesn't make it warm despite what's in your heart and all that pish, does it, ladies and gentlemen? But we're here to talk about Arne Slot. We're here to talk about Liverpool. We're here to talk about the Newcastle game. So we'll run through the usual. We'll talk about the questions Arne Slot was asked, the answers he gave, and by the way, some absolute blinders as well. And I'm going to play you a few because I think that's important today as well. We'll look back to that City beating, a 2-0 battering, let's be honest. Any lessons we can pick out from that? We'll talk about the Newcastle Threats and the potential difficulties at St James's Park. And we'll also look at the predicted lineup, score and scorers. Because having gone 4 right in a row, I'm on a losing streak of 3. However, that's not a bad thing because we're beating teams in the world at the moment. So let's just keep that going. Now, Arne Slot's Q&A section. So weirdly, Liverpool need to line up because it gave a countdown saying 3 minutes to go and then it jumped in. So that camera guy needs sacking, he really does. But aside from that, his first question was about Gary Neville from Sky's Vinny O'Connor saying, you know, he makes your favourites, and they had a bit of a giggle about that. But I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to give Gary Neville too much screen time at all. That's just being completely honest. What I do want to do is give you 2 specific bits of the press conference that I'm going to play for you. The first bit was about challenging fixtures, 6 out of 9 away from home. So let's see what Arne Slot said about this specifically.
Not just a difficult week because, okay, you've got back-to-back away games in the Premier League, but 6 of your next 9 games in all competitions are away from home. You're playing every 3-4 days in that period as well. So just how challenging is that, particularly when you're there to be shot at now as well?
Yeah, maybe the last thing makes it difficult, but I think if Liverpool is number 1, 2, 3 or 4, it is always a very special game for the teams we face. So it doesn't matter that much what the league table tells you. If Liverpool comes, then all the stadium is sold out and everyone wants to play us and wants to have the best game against us, like they have against Arsenal, Man City and all the others. So the good thing is for me that it's not only us who play that many games. So for example, if we face Everton next week, they've had a game during the week as well. So mostly we face teams that are rested for a week because we play Champions League and some others don't. But now many teams have many games because it's England. We play a lot of games in this period of time. But yeah, I wasn't aware of the fact that 6 of the 9 were away. But now you tell me it makes it even more difficult. But we're ready for it.
Yeah, again, he just gets it, Arne Slot, doesn't he? You can hear him what he said, and he's right. Every time we visit, it always has been and it always will be, it's a lot of teams' cup final. It's what the whole season's based around, especially those ones from Stanley Park. You know, as the saying goes, if you want to know what's going on in Liverpool, ask an Evertonian. So everyone is geared towards that. And he's also right that 6 out of 9 away from home is tough. There's no mistaking that. He's talked about game at a time. He's really clear on that, Arne. And also he's right. Everton are playing Wolves tonight, aren't they? So, you know, it's ill on any team or anything like that. But it is interesting that it does help probably that these teams are playing as well. It's not like, as he said, usually the full week's rest they get to prepare for their cup final, i.e. us coming into town. So that will benefit us, no doubt about it. Now, this is the clip I promise you that everyone will be talking about. Prepare yourself for this. Everyone will be talking about it because he was asked about Mo Salah suggestions that it'll be his last game against City and the contract part as well. And he went on a slot somewhere I didn't think he would go, but it's absolutely brilliant. So let's just listen to how he answered Vinny O'Connor on that question.
And just aside from the game, I'll go back to Mo, because there was a hint at the weekend that it could be his last home league game against Manchester City, and obviously subsequently there have been reports that he's exasperated the contract situation at the moment. Just to put it a little bit differently, is this all just part of the dance before everything's agreed and Mo commits his future to Liverpool for another season?
Maybe Mo knows more about the 115 acquisitions that are done, so he expects them not to be in the Premier League next season. And I do expect them in the Premier League. No, I think the boring answer is always the same. This is not the place for me to talk about Mo's contract, and maybe I've said already too much about the joke I just made, so that will probably get the headlines. But it was a joke. I repeat, it was a joke.
Thanks, Arne.
Wow. Absolutely wow. Normally, he just straight bats those answers down the ground for 4, no issues. He took a baseball bat to City today, didn't he? So, he was joking, but it is great to see that side. I guarantee, though, everyone is going to clip that up. I promise. They're going to leave out the bit about the joke. That's why I wanted to play that in full for you. And maybe you may regret doing that in time, but Arne Slot in a press conference after we battered City at home, talking about 115 charges. Could life as a Red be any at the moment? It just feels like he's warming into it as well, even more every week, Arne Slot. So what an answer. Yeah. And we'll go through a few others that he gave. He talked about injuries and having to make decisions. We know about the injury situation. He says, well, I always have to make big decisions. If you look at City, I didn't play Darwin, Curtis, Wataru, Harvey Elliott, Jarell Quansah. I probably forget some others, and Tyler Morton. So it's always having to make decisions as a manager of a club like Liverpool because we have quality players. I think I've been clear a few weeks ago, because he was, a bit about the keeper situation, what our position is on goalkeepers. We're waiting for the moment Alisson is completely fit, because Queeve is doing so well in goal. And if Alisson's on 50%, we're not going to play him. He's getting there. It may just take a few extra days, and he's getting closer and closer. So a bit of an injury update there, long story short, isn't it? The suspicion is then Alisson is not going to be in goal, not ready for this Newcastle game. Maybe a shot then at the derby at Goodison. So in the best of ways, Queeve's given us absolutely nothing to worry about during this period, has he? He's been absolutely sensational. And again, you'd forget, or you shouldn't forget, on Sunday, he did bail Virgil van Dijk out big time when De Bruyne robbed him turn as well. So yeah, there is no concern whatsoever. We just want Alisson to be fit and ready to go. And I don't think that is a bad thing at all, because if you think back to last season, he came back very, very quickly, didn't he, after that injury? And look what's happened subsequently. So that bit of extra recovery time, I don't think, especially why Kelleher's in the form he is, keep it going, no problem at all. He was also asked about not getting carried away. And is it good that some players have got this experience? I love what he said about this. He said, it is important, but it's also the culture of the club for us. It's not a special thing for us to be top of the league or Champions League format, but maybe it is with the Champions League, as it's a special format. I love this bit. This club, this team, these players are unified to being top of the league or competing for every trophy they play for, and it helps. They've experienced this. They've also competed for a long time and then maybe came too short, I think you say. They couldn't win it. So it's also, they know what it is to have that and won't get carried away. They also know it's a long season, and to win the league against the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal and City, who I do think are our main rivals, they know we have to be 9 to 10 months on top of our game. And if we let down for a second, these teams will be there. I love that. I just love the way you phrased it. You can see almost it's coming through, as much as he is a focused, determined guy. This club, this team, these players, I love the way he's phrasing it. He's almost, once he's bought in, that's the wrong phrase. You can see he's immersing himself in everything Liverpool. Every single press conference, we are getting a little bit more from Arne Slot. And I'm loving it. I've got to be honest. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I love the way he answered this one as well. He was asked about Cody Gakpo and how he's doing, and, you know, whether he can score more like 20 in a season. He said, unfortunately, I have experienced where he can score 20 for PSV when he did it against us, against Feyenoord. He scored every time against us. But just like Lucho, just like Mo, just like Darwin or Diogo, they are all capable of scoring that amount of goals. Unfortunately for them, they have so many good players around them, so they don't start every single game as they would get higher amounts. But if you combine the numbers of Cody and Lucho, they're coming close to Mo's numbers, I think. So it's the position that has to bring the numbers, the same as the right winger and the number 9. Cody's in a good position, but so is, again, love the way you phrase that, because, I mean, what a week for Cody Gakpo. Goals against Real Madrid and Manchester City. It doesn't really get much better than that, does it, in all honesty? And what's good now, isn't he? He's got 8 goals, 2 assists. Diaz has got 9 goals and 2 assists. They're really close in terms of numbers. I'd still personally pick for Diaz as if we were starting a Champions League final, but there will be people in Gakpo's corner. And let's be fair, as long as he keeps banging in the goals like he is, what more can you ask for it in that regard? But I love the way he's phrased it. It is about the positions. Mo's just in a league his own, basically, isn't he? With 13 goals, I think he's on. But if you put Diaz together with Gakpo, I mean, you're on a good total there. Is it 17? I think, yeah, 17 combined. So that is absolutely brilliant. And I know Darwin's on 3 and Diogo's on 4, I think it is, but they're working so hard. It's almost the centre-forward position is different it to be, I think, that you look at Núñez, he doesn't have that many big chances like he did last season. He's playing a completely different game. Same for Jota. They are working so hard out of possession. But he's also right. If they all played every game, their numbers would be better. If we're winning, do we really care? Not remotely, as long as it carries on like it is. So then the next question flipped round to the defence and said, you know, you've got the best defence in the league. And I like the way he answered this one as well. I keep saying that, but he's absolutely knocking these out the park. You tell us we've conceded the less goals, I think. That doesn't mean we have the best defence. It means we have 11 players that have worked really hard to not concede a goal. But I agree with you, our last line has really impressed this season. Every time we have to defend, they are there. If it was in another line we've had the same amount of injuries, we would be worried, and we go into the month with 5 defenders. It's not ideal, but it's part of everyone's season, and we play just as many games. I trust the players we have now to do everything they can to stay fit, and we need to be smart to keep them available. If you have the clubs, like I said, you have to be ready. And he meant Arsenal, Chelsea, etc. Absolutely spot on. The defence has been brilliant. We know so many. I mean, Ibu and Verge, sensational. Joe Gomez comes in, sensational as well. The fullbacks, we're not going to go through them all. But he's also right. It's a team game, and the team pressing all around the pitch is absolutely crucial to what we're seeing at the moment. And he's also right. 5 defenders into 4 positions is not ideal at this moment in time. We have to, it was like the way he says we have to be creative, it was the word he used, and smart. I think, yeah, you're doing minimal training for those 5 defenders that are available, because they're going to get the fitness and the minutes in the games, aren't they? You just have to manage them through as much as possible. It's the only downside at the moment in this month where you've just got that little sort of needle in your craw, as it were, that 5 defenders, Robbo playing pretty much every minute. You know, we really can't afford another injury at defender. It's an interesting one, isn't it? If there was another, would anyone be recalled? I don't know what the terms of certain people on loan, like Owen Beck at Blackburn, are. Possibly. I'm just guessing that. I don't know. That would be the solution. Endo drop it. You know, you're speculating them, but we really don't want to see it, do we? So fingers crossed, that is the big one. And then the final bit, I mentioned January. He was asked about that. Maybe not an honest answer, but maybe not the answer everyone wanted to hear. So what did he say? We are having discussions every day, no matter if there's a window coming up or not. It is a bit of a worry at the moment that 3 defenders are out, but the good thing is that once the window opens, the defenders are back. So many times I said, I'm so happy with the squad we are having. That's not to say if there's a chance in the market, the club won't go for it. That's what Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are known for. It's normal we have these conversations about or around the squad. So a couple of things I took from that. Number one, it's sounding like, hopefully, Tsimikas, Konate, Bradley back for January when the window opens. I mean, if that would be good if you can get those three back. It is a bolstering. There's no two ways about that at all. However, it's not what I want to hear. It's not what fans want to hear. I don't think there's anything that indicates, and we've said this before, me and Trev on the transfer show, we are not expecting a busy January. That's just to be honest. In fact, the only thing that might make it a busy January realistically is if someone like Endo does agitate to go, or Joe Gomez, but you just can't see it now. I really can't. I can't see us. Early prediction, which is going to kill the transfer show a bit, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm suspecting that none in, none out. I think this will be like everyone will want a potential medals and stuff like that. That is just my honest belief. Unless there's another injury. But then Liverpool are not a short-term team. I know someone's going to throw up that word opportunistic. I know people are going to be talking about Richard Hughes. I know. Do you not think I want the contract signed at the same time for all three? I know. I'm just gearing it up for something that sounds there like it's going to be a busy January whatsoever. But we will have to see on that one. And that was a brilliant press conference from Arne Slot. So that 2-0 battering of Manchester City. I mean, the lessons that we'll take, everyone stepped up across the board. Absolutely everyone. The elite makes the difference, though. Virgil van Dijk, elite, makes the difference. Mo Salah, elite, makes the difference. These other players, absolutely brilliant. So many other good games. But in the big games, your elite players make the difference. And even the Trent pass for Mo, those are the difference. Because Virgil van Dijk owning Haaland, nicely assisted by Joe Gomez, but it's Virgil, let's just be clear on that, that really makes the difference there. Elite players make the difference at the end of the day. That's the big lesson from that game. And the other one, that as we kind of touched upon, we really don't have many defensive options. I mean, I'm kind of giving my hand away for the lineup, but I don't think you'll see too many changes, but we'll get to that. And we'll start talking about Newcastle, people, because I've seen a few on this saying, oh, you look at their form and, you know, that they've not really got many options and all this. This is not going to be an easy game. I mean, yes, we are top and you're going away to the team in 11th. You look at Newcastle, I mean, a real split. 5 wins, 4 draws, 4 defeats. 14 goals scored, 14 conceded. I mean, goals for, that is really low. Goals against, it's quite high, to be fair. It's not the highest, though, if you look at it. It's usually a team about 5th or 6th on average. So they don't score many and they concede a few. They average a conceding of 1 a game, don't they, pretty much? They score 1 a game, so 1 all draws, you could argue. This is not easy. Don't get this twisted at all. City have been there, draw. I know people are going to say, well, City's form and all that, but, you know, it's a tough place to go. Arsenal have been there and been beaten. St James's Park is a raucous stadium, and I was at this game last year, that brilliant Darwin 2-1. It's a brilliant stadium. It's a brilliant atmosphere. Obviously, we want it to be flat on Wednesday night, but this will be a tough game. Make no more mistake about it. And this one, the goals. Isaac, now, I think there's a bit of trickery going on. Eddie Howe said, oh, it's about pain management. We'll have to see. Isaac's done an interview where he said, I expect to be fit for Liverpool. So we're expecting, unfortunately, Isaac to be in the lineup. The reason I say unfortunately, plundered 5 goals this season, hasn't he? He is their goal scorer. I mean, if you take him out, you've got Harvey Barnes on 4, Joe Linton on 2, Anthony Gordon on 2. So you talk about threat. If Isaac is fit, he is the main man. He is the main threat. There's no two ways about it. Anthony Gordon, though, we all know about that saga from the summer. He will want to have a good game here. He will be running his nuts off, whether Isaac's out and he's playing like the kind of a false 9 position or on the wing. He will be desperate to have a good game. And we also know he tried to get Trent sent off last season, didn't he, realistically, and had a real go at that. He scored. So the stadium, the few players they have, they will be bang up for this. People are going to be looking at the league table and going, oh, this is, you know, we should win that. Yes, we should, but this is a tough game. There's no two ways about it. And I won't get too carried away about the game on the weekend when they drew against Palace. I know they have one shot on target. I think their XG is like 0.1, 0.2. It's tiny. They are a different proposition at St. James's Park. Please, let's be clear on that. This is really, really tough game. No two ways about it at all. Which brings to the final section, ladies and gents. What is the lineup, score, and scorers? I think there'll be a little bit of rotation, but not too much. So here's what I'm going for. I think your back five's the same. I think he's going to ask Robbo to go again. Quanta will be on the bench, ready to come on. Trent got taken off after about 70 against City. VVD and Gomez. So Trent right, Robbo left. Were 19-20 running it back in the middle again with Gomez and Virgil. In the middle, Grav and McAllister because it's away, so you want that solid base. Curtis Jones is coming back in. He came on very late. And I know Szoboszlai will feel unlucky because he was absolutely brilliant, and I mean brilliant, against City in the last game. But that rotation's healthy. It's a huge pit at St. James's at some point once, you know, Curtis has run his legs off. But Jones there as well. And also, you've then got Szoboszlai fresh for that derby, ready to, you know, press, run, harry everywhere. No doubts about it at all. Although some people will swither because they'll say it's a derby. Curtis will be up for that. I just think it makes sense for Jones to start this one. In the middle, Darwin Núñez back in. Only played, what, 15, 20 minutes, was it? Against City, so he'll be fresh, ready to go. And obviously, the ghost of Núñez lurks on this ground with that double last season, so that's an obvious one. Salah on the right. I think it'll be Diaz, but it would not surprise me if it is Gakpo at all. That is my suspected lineup. Keller in nets, Trent right back, Robbo left back. It's Gomez and VVD in the middle. Grav and Maka are the pivot. Curtis Jones ahead of them, Darwin Núñez at 9, Salah on the right, Luis Diaz on the left. So a couple of changes there. That's what I'm suspecting. We'll see. Score and scorer. I think this is going to be a really tough one, ladies and gents. No two ways about it. I think it's going to be a tight game, despite what the stats might say. So I am going for a 2-1 victory. Maybe that's hard overhead. A 2-1 victory. Mo Salah, who else on the score sheet? We'll see. Would we take a 2-1, a scruffy 2-1 with no injuries? We would bite your hand off for that. Let's just hope we win, no injuries. That's what it's about over this period. It's not about great form at the moment. You know, 3 games in a week where you're going Sunday, Wednesday, early kickoff on Saturday. Just win them, no injuries, and things look incredible. But it's one game at a time. 2-1's my prediction over Newcastle. Be interesting to hear yours. The games come thick and fast, and so do these podcasts. So on Tuesday, the 3rd of December, one day ahead of the Newcastle game, that was another post-conference presser for Anfield Index.